Well, imagine that you're in a room full of 100 college students, all about to graduate. How many do you think have a plan, any plan, for after they finish college? Well, hold on to those diplomas because according to a recent poll, 34 would have no plan at all for their lives going forward. 41 have no job lined up after they graduate. The poll also shows a similar amount share and feel pessimistic about their futures, which is terrible to hear. No job, no plans, no optimism about their future. And what many want, we know, is their student debt paid off. What's going on here? Radio host Tony Katz is joining us tonight. Tony, always good to see you. Happy Friday. Okay. Is this a generational thing? Is this victims of a bad economy? Is it a bit of both? What in the heck is happening?
Let's make the argument that it's actually a multi-generational thing. You have a generation that was told that things would be handed to them, things would be taken care of for them, everything would be delivered to them. Then you have generations that, well, told them those lies, and those lies are, you know, as the expression I guess would go, coming home to roost. If you believe that, why should I have to worry about college debt? Government should take care of it. You would also possibly be under the delusion that why should I have to think about a plan? The plan should be laid out for me. After all, I went to college, and when you go to college, you get a job. That's what everybody told me. That's what my guidance counselor told me. And that's what my Mima told me. So therefore, it should just be laid out for me. What an amazing thing for people to have to actually be amazed by that you actually have to still go out there and get the job and have the aptitudes and show up every day.
Right, the diploma, that's not enough. By the way, I had a Mima too. It's great that you mentioned that. Okay, so I understand maybe a little bit the no jobs, right? Tough job market. I don't know. You could maybe sell me on that for a second. It's going to take a little time to find the right job. But to have no plan, I mean, isn't the whole point of going to college to figure out your plan and then bring your plan to fruition? I mean, why are you there if you have no plan?
Well, first, let's do away with the idea that there are no jobs. I think there's still 11 million jobs that need to get filled. On an anecdotal level, if you talk to business owners, whether it's in my beloved Indianapolis or anywhere else, you're going to find a lot of people who are looking for people who show up. The argument is you don't have the right job. It's not paying an outrageous salary. It's not giving you all of the benefits. It's not giving you all of the vacation. It is about the idea that you don't, where you start is not where you end. It's an expression we use in my family for generations now. Where you start is not where you end is extremely important. Well, what happens when you have a generation or a thought process, a cultural identity that says you deserve, you should be given, as opposed to working to get to where you need to be? If you're not willing to do the work and do those jobs that may be difficult or unglamorous or dirty, whatever the case may be, to get to where you want to be, how are you expected to get there?
Right.
If you're expecting that it's just going to be, you know, handed to you, you are going to be disappointed, and you're going to be one of these people who doesn't have a plan.
I just remember being so excited to enter the workforce. I couldn't wait to graduate and start working, and understanding then in the TV business, like, you had to go to a small market in the middle of nowhere, pay your dues, and it took a long time to do that. Even in TV, you've got a lot of people who want to start in big markets. It just doesn't work like that. Radio is the same thing. Maybe they should be looking at the opportunities that are available. And one of those, get this, Tony, lifeguarding right now. Top lifeguard pay, this is in LA County, $500 grand in 2021. I should have been a lifeguard at that.
We all should have been lifeguards. Now, this story is generated because the lifeguard in question ended up with a tremendous amount of overtime. That overtime paid the lifeguard over $200,000. And I always thought, look, I saw Baywatch. I thought everybody wanted to be a lifeguard. I was stunned to learn that there's only one guy who could take all of the overtime that's available. This is a frightening story in terms of government malfeasance and government mismanagement. And I have to assume that the people of Los Angeles County were upset for about 18 hours until they realized the gas was going to be about $7 a gallon and they couldn't drive to the beach anyway.
Oh, holy cow. You know what? Who would not put up with this, Tony, is our Mimas. They would not be having this. These college graduates would be out there working. Maybe they'll go see Top Gun this weekend, and then they'll become naval aviators.
Look, I loved that conversation that you just had. I love that Top Gun is doing well. And there is one interesting Top Gun story that isn't being gotten to, is that the movie's not in China. There was an excellent op-ed, I think it was Sonny Bunch writing in the Washington Post about this. The movie's not playing in China. Hollywood, you can score huge successes and not rely on a communist market. That is a win-on-win here. And whoever thought that the guy who was jumping on couches with Oprah 20 years ago could be a guy who could save Hollywood.
Right? The Taiwanese flag
Unreal.
back on the bomber jacket. Tom
That's
Cruise.
right.
Tom Cruise saves us all. I'm going to see the movie this weekend. Tony Katz, have a great weekend. We appreciate you coming on as always. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.